And there is a lot of questions surrounding that empty gun case. Tonight we are joined again by Court TV's Julia Janae. And Julia, how does the revealing of these weapons, the BB guns, knives, and targets found in the shooter's bedroom, impact the defense's case?
Oh, you said it, Brian. These pictures are worth 1,000 words when it comes to trying to paint the picture of what the Crumbley home was like. That empty gun box and the fact that it had a lock that seemed to have never been used, it speaks volumes to this jury about the safety and the lack of safety. The prosecution wants to show that this was a home that condoned a culture of violence and guns. And the defense has to take that and try to show that this was a common culture for this area. There was a lot of discussion with some of these witnesses on cross about whether there were other students who would bring guns to school for hunting or typically did that as a sport. So that's what the defense will have to do to try and avoid this. But for the prosecution, it was a very strong day in showing how that search of the home turned up not only those images of targets inside of Ethan Crumbley's home, but also the video games that he regularly played, which involve shooting games.
And Julia, some of the defendant's co-workers took the stand today on how she reacted to the shooting. How does this paint her in the eyes of the jury?
This was fascinating testimony because you got a real-time sense of what Jennifer Crumbley was doing when she learned about the tragedy that happened at the Oxford High School. She was with her friend, Amanda Holland. She had been talking about her prior to the shooting, about her son having issues and this drawing on the homework at school, that she felt like a failure as a parent, and deciding that within the next 48 hours she was going to need to get him intense counseling. So for the defense, it's a way to paint her as a parent who was concerned, who was doing everything that she could. But for the prosecution, this is the type of testimony that shows that she did have knowledge, she understood the problem, and going back to those photos of the guns and the things in the home, that she did not take the steps to make sure that the gun he had access to was not something that he could get to and perhaps cause harm.
Okay, Court TV's Julia Janae, thank you again for the insight.